Hey, Peace World, thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. My name is Wood. Get into some bite down boxing talk. Hey, I don't know how you got to spend some money or something to promote your channel or you how you can pop. But I asked a question earlier in the week if this was the best young pound for pound champion if he was fighting Saturday. It's Saturday, and I just watched Jesse Bam Rodriguez do some phenomenal stuff down here in San Antonio in his hometown. Shout out to Robert Garcia for making it back from over in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. I almost did a video talking about being concerned about I think it's Robert Garcia's son. Maybe it's a nephew, but I thought that could have been an area of concern or an interesting storyline to watch if Robert Garcia didn't make it back. But he didn't need to be back. I mean, dude is just phenomenal. 22 years old, just took apart Sor Rungvisai. I mean, he has it all, man. The jab, he manages his space well. He was killing him with the 1-2 when he got out at range. He was using the angles and setting up traps for him to walk into. Sor Rungvisai was very frustrated. He was trying to swing for the fences and rough the kid up, land some big shots. Rarely was anything open. The kid always has his hands where they're supposed to be. If not, he's using his feet. Then he's turning you. And then the thing that I really loved was that he was being first and also being last often. And Cat is really not a very disciplined fighter. He's not a very tight fighter. So when he would wind up and try to land his bigger shots, of course his hands weren't never back where they needed to be. And with a lot of the shots landing on Bam's gloves, he would just turn and then catch him last on the way out, So he just Sor Rungvisai just didn't have anywhere to be safe. He didn't have anywhere to get himself together. The plan, I think Chris Mannix spoke on it a couple of times. The expectation or the plan was not to try to win round by round or try to win many rounds. The plan was to hit the kid who we assume is smaller and who we want to believe is the smaller guy coming up 2 weight classes just a fight ago. But the plan was just to try to hit a home run and then be around late. Because I was wondering, like, can this kid be this sharp and this creative all night long? Can you keep your hands up all night long? We know that he's also Garcia's had a concern about him standing in front of fighters too much. He did very little of that tonight. Landed 119 to 72, 66% in power punches. That was power punches, 119 to 72. But yeah, man, I just a phenomenal fight. He gets the knockdown to start the second half of the fight with about 2 minutes and 10 seconds or so left in the 7th round when he gets the left hook. Was it a bit of a slip in there on the turn and Sor Rungvisai went to go plant his foot? It looked like it slid a little bit, but it was still the accumulation of punishment and that particular shot that was starting to just take its toll on Sor Rungvisai. So he gets the knockdown in the 7th round, comes back in the 8th. Now he changes it up. He's jabbing to the body, still jabbing beautifully. He's picking up the pace, frustrating the 2-time champion and the 35-year-old. And he just starts flurrying and increasingly picking up the pace and being more aggressive and going for it. And this is what I was saying. Like I said, some people kind of praise Devin for, or there was 2 schools of thought in Devon and finishing out the second half of the fight, the championship rounds against Kambosos. But there's a difference in executing your defensive plan and having a plan that you're going to stick to, and being mindful of the threat that's in front of you. And then there's giving an opponent that you've clearly outclassed. There's giving him way too much respect too late in the fight. And wherever you sit with what you saw with the championship rounds and what Devin Haney elected to do in his fight, I'm just sitting here enjoying this. Like I asked the question earlier in the week, is this the pound for pound champion that no one is talking about? I don't know how you can sit there and watch the variety of skills on display. Ring IQ, beautiful defense. I mean, Sor Rungvisai has heavy hands, but very rarely was anything really getting through. I don't know, man. That's a hell of a performance for me. So anybody, any channel out there, any website that doesn't have Jesse Rodriguez on his pound for pound list, then I don't know what I'm watching. But that's phenomenal boxing. Putting on a show for the hometown fans, going for the finish, knowing that this is a mutual opponent with the other champions in the division, with Chocolatito, who's not a current champion. Maybe he should be, but knowing that he had 2 fights with Sor Rungvisai, and that's another potential fight for Bam Rodriguez. Also, a couple of fights with between El Gallo and Sor Rungvisai, and Juan Francisco Estrada dominating Sor Rungvisai when they fought 2 or 3 years ago. To understand the situation, to be at home, coming off of the big statement made against Quadras, and to go out here in this 8th round and go for it, you gotta love the kid. You gotta love the kid. So like I said, man, I'm not even gonna try to stay on here and keep telling you the same thing. The kid is a bad man. I guess, Eddie was in the ring just now talking about maybe he could go back down to 112. And I'm not even familiar with all the champions below, in the lower weight classes like that. But he talked about there was a chance to unify down there. I don't know, man. You can do a lot of stuff with this kid. You can do a lot of stuff with him because he's just such an intelligent fighter, has so many tools. I think I had on the thing, it was a TKO 9th in the title. I'm sorry. It was 8th round. It was 8th round. But yeah, you can kind of do whatever you want to do with the kid. They mentioned Julio Cesar Martinez, who didn't fight tonight. I would love him against Julio Cesar Martinez if they made that happen. Like you can do whatever you can roll the ball out there and just and trust that the kid is gonna come through. He's that skilled and that talented. The other fights on here, I was really wrong with Alma Ibarra. Wow. I mean, she just quit. She was like, I want to get home to my kid. I don't want to be here. I want to be anywhere on the earth but here, against Jessica McCaskill. Cash Killer was landing some bombs. She had the 3-inch height advantage. Another female fighter with bad head movement, bad anticipation of punches, and kind of just seemed unable to protect herself. Sweeping, looping, long right hands, from McCaskill just continue to catch her flush. Then it was also the left hook there, but I think that one ended in the third round, or after the end of the third round. I'm sorry. Ibarra told she was in an argument with her trainer, and the trainer was like, "Man, I can't do nothing with her." She said no. Even though she speaks Spanish, you clearly heard her say no, and that she didn't want to fight anymore. She had some moments where I thought she made an adjustment. Maybe that was early in the second round. Yeah, she had in the opening moment. She had a good flurry and seemed like she was gonna change things up. But McCaskill, like I said, man, she's all action. A bit awkward. A lot of guts, to go over to, when her and her team, Rick Ramos, decided to go over to the UK and fight, Katie Taylor, one of the top two women, or the number one woman in boxing. Go over there and fight her. Like, so what? And really didn't do a bad job, gave a decent account of herself. But she gets the victory tonight. Runs over Ibarra coming down. To think that Ibarra was a bigger woman, having fought previously at either super welterweight or maybe even middleweight. But to come down and to be 3 years younger, that's a pretty shameful outing for her. Morozdan Akhmadaliev against Ronnie Rios, 122-pound unified champion. That one ended in the 9th round. It was waved off by the referee. MJ had hurt his hand. I think they said as early as the 3rd round. I didn't give Ronnie Rios. I thought maybe he made a case for the 2nd round. Maybe the 7th round he made a case. That's when the hand injury really kind of started showing up. But shout out to MJ he had some kind of communication going on with his team. I'm sorry. I grouped a couple rounds together. It was the 12th and final round where it was when the same thing continues to happen. I kind of started grouping my notes together. But yeah, it was round 12. MJ came out with a sense of purpose that round. Series of left hooks ended the fight. But earlier in the round, he threw some combinations, hooks with both hands, kind of letting you know that he was going to go for it. Rios had kind of just been getting dragged for a few rounds anyway. Really wasn't up to the task at that moment. There was a knockdown, like I said, from the series of left hooks that dropped Rios. Rios gets up, and maybe 15, 20 seconds later, the referee stepped in and waved it off. So good win from MJ. There could be the undisputed fight out there, I guess, put together with him and Stephen Fulton. Who knows how much it if PBC would be willing to meet in the middle, or how they would put that together. But I think it's a hell of an opportunity for Cool Boy Steph, and they should get it done. You would think they would get it done, but also there's the possibility that the monster Naoya Inoue could come up to the division and something could get done there. So there are some other options, but don't deprive Cool Boy Stephen Fulton the opportunity of becoming a undisputed champion. So I think Cool Boy Steph has the WBO and WBC titles, I believe. I know MJ has WBA and IBF. So decent card here tonight. The Raymond Ford fight, I watched. I think I started with that one in the 3rd round. He doesn't have a lot of power. Southpaw. I saw his other coach look like he moved to the background a little bit more, and they had the other coach. I had his name earlier and can't even. Anthony. Coach Anthony, I think is his name. But a good win for for Raymond Ford. He continues to, I think he still remains undefeated and can see what else he can do at featherweight and whatnot, but I don't know. But yeah, hell of a, like I said, man, I asked the question earlier in the week, is there a better young champion than Ben Rodriguez? If you know a little bit about boxing, you tell me. You tell me who's more skilled, who's more fun to watch, who's more complete. Uh, I want I want to hear. But for my money, the kid he's in Stephen A. Smith's word, he's box office. He's box office. So I don't know where they go from here, but I'll be finding a way to tune in and check it out. Anyway, let me get on off of here, man. Bite down boxing. Don't let them count you out. Pay me no mind, sports and entertainment. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Peace.